Archie, Reggie, Veronica, Betty, Jughead too. Where? Archie's Weird Mysteries.
Zombies of love! They're coming and nothing can stop them! What strange power turned these innocent teens into mindless monsters? Other than homework, that is. Find out in Zombies of Love.
Like how the Bees and Roaches episodes were fairly similar, this episode trudges over some old ground from another episode, and is pretty much exactly the same. Acting like the spoiled brat that she is, Veronica complains about the fact that Archie is not a devoted husk of a person in constant servitude to her. One of our main characters, everyone. Between her and Reggie, I don't know who to hate more. So wanting to turn Archie into a perfect man, read here as mindless slave, she visits Madame Lucinda, who is introduced to us for the first time in this episode, and asks for a potion to make her wish come true.
Yes, to think of me more than he thinks of himself. Can you make him do that?
Oh, I can do it. Question is, can you take it?
Take it? I'd love it. Why?
Because when someone pays all their attention to you and never leaves you alone, be they friend or family, it can be a real pain in the patootie.
Of course, despite being warned by Madame Lucinda, and despite already having had a wish come true and it go horribly wrong for her, she still goes ahead. This results in, at first, Archie and then everyone else turning into something close to psychopaths in their level of devotion to Veronica.
Look, my darling, I made a pillow for you to rest your lovely head upon.
Oh, how nice. I didn't know you could sew.
I learned for you, my dove.
It's awfully, flat. What did you stuff it with?
My own hair.
Of course, she could have at any point just told Archie to ring the bell of the school and break the spell, but this doesn't occur to her until the end of the episode. This episode just fails because we've been through this before. Veronica wants something and it goes wrong. This would have worked better if Betty had wanted it, becoming jealous of Veronica and the attention that she gets. But she ends up regretting it instead, thus bypassing the fact that they already have done a be careful what you wish for episode. Along with weird choices like the bell of the school breaking the spell for no other reason than the plot says so, or the fact the love potion is in a salt shaker, these things are just A to B plot devices, with no real point in the end, so they could have been anything really. Also, once Archie has been standing outside your bedroom window all night, not eating, showering, or sleeping, then yeah, Veronica should have ended the spell because that can't have been good on any level. So while the show may be devoted to giving us the same moral and story time and time again, I choose to place this episode once and for all at number 21.
Fleas, release me! Can Archie and his friends escape its slavering fangs? Nothing can stop the terrifying werewolf from the darkest depths of the forest. Will Archie fall prey to its horrible jaws? Fleas, release me!
No, this isn't a repeat of the Cockroach or Bee episode, but with fleas, it's actually about werewolves. So this bad pun of a title is the first bit of bullshit about this episode. This episode begins with, big surprise, Reggie acting like an asshole. First to Jughead, then to Archie, Betty and Veronica.
Stop the presses! Cub reporter discovers werewolf.
That was you? Reggie, I could have crashed the car.
With Betty and Veronica blaming Archie for what Reggie does, because morons. Trying to get back both the girls' affections, Archie tries to stage an attack by another werewolf, this time Jughead, because this plan always works. However, it turns out it's actually a real werewolf and Reggie is soon accused and thrown in jail. Now, while I would be happy about this, and by would be, I mean I am, he's not actually the culprit. The actual culprit is this random police officer who we've never seen before or since, and even seems to be drawn differently.
Huh?
Son, this werewolf thing is no laughing matter. I received complaints that a wolf creature was terrorizing people across town around 9 p.m. Some pets were even harmed.
So while Reggie almost gets mauled, Archie manages to get a ring of silver around the werewolf's neck, which transforms him back. Because, yeah, that's exactly how that works. And with that, the episode just leaves it to end, despite the fact that should the guy lose the ring of silver, he'll turn into a werewolf again, so hooray? This episode just fails at trying to build any sort of tension and then tries to cover its tracks when it does something intentionally to try and mislead the audience, despite the fact it makes no sense. Like why the werewolf is wearing Reggie's jacket.
Oh, by the way, Reggie, you left your Letterman jacket here yesterday. I meant to return it.
You mean I didn't have my jacket last night?
No, I was bringing it to your house when it got chilly, so I put it on to stay warm. But then I don't remember what happened next.
So not only that, but he also just happened to be near the others and for some reason just slowly moved towards them instead of just trying to tear them limb from limb. Everything here is far too convenient about that entire affair. For this episode that needs a silver bullet to its heart, it ends this transformation at number 20.
Big monster on campus! Is he a victim of a scientific experiment gone horribly wrong? Or is he something far worse? Can Moose triumph in his showdown with the big monster on campus?
Hey look, it's that other episode I covered in a proper review, and yet it's ended up being a whole 17 spaces away from the other. So let's find out why. Starting off on the old mad scientist creating life in his lab act, this one does put a new twist to it. He's creating life so that his school can win against Riverdale High's athletics team. Let me repeat that. A scientist is creating life so his school can win in a high school sports competition. This man is a moron. So despite so many obvious questions, like how the science teacher faked an admission for the student, how no one from his school wonders about this new student, how he was even able to pass a medical, and so many other questions that would render this episode obsolete, we continue. Now this is one of the 2 episodes to feature Moose, Midge's boyfriend, with the other being a little later on this list. Essentially, after losing to the Robot Man, because that's what he actually is, Moose becomes despondent and ends up following Archie to help solve the mystery of the new student. You know, the mystery that everyone watching already knew. Archie manages to finally get Moose fired up to wrestle against the Robot Man and win. Although how he does is the actual mystery here, since he didn't do any sort of training to win, he just does. Which puts everything back to normal once again. Like I noted in my full review of this episode, so many questions are brought up about this whole plot and motive, with very little behind it to back it up. The science teacher picked on as a kid wanting to prove technology can beat the jocks has been done, and far better than anything this episode puts forward. Though I do like the fact this episode does try to expand on a side character, it just doesn't help that it does it so poorly that from beginning to end I just don't care about him. Oh, and here we get another Reggie is an asshole moment, trying to steal Midge away from Moose.
Hi there, dollface. Huh? No, I won't go out with you, Reggie. I'm going steady with Moose.
Luckily, this happens.
No, seriously, why go for brawny Moose when you can have the entire Reggie Mantle package? Brawn, brains, and good looks. Hello, Moose. We were just talking about you.
So, for an episode that really should have tried brains to write it instead of brawn, it ended up at number 19.